Hey guys. Okay, so I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that's kind of coming up right now. There is so much confusion energy. Like the energy is so up and down confusing. And I know I say that a lot too, but it's so different than normal. It goes from feeling like kind of calm and at peace to feeling like really angry and irritated to having all these insecurities coming up and kind of questioning what you know, questioning your intuition, questioning things like that, to going into fear mode and fears that you actually have, fears that kind of seem like out of nowhere or seem a little irrational, things like that, going to feeling like completely numb and disconnected, feeling overwhelmed, then feeling tired, then feeling energetic. I mean, it's really like up and down. And I notice it's like sometimes it's like every few minutes, sometimes it's every few hours. It's been like this for like a few days. Definitely some sleep disturbances and stuff. So one, you're not alone and you're not going crazy. Some of what's going on right now is for you to clear energy and for you to see energy different. There are a few different groups kind of going through different things right now. Some of the biggest things that we're going through right now is like, are any like really underlying areas where we don't feel enough, where we don't feel worthy, where we don't feel deserving. We're really going into the deep areas of where these started. We're starting to also see how we've allowed these deep fears from childhood to kind of be reinforced throughout our lives. So we had relationships with friends or with family members or romantic relationships or with jobs, or we made choices that reinforce all these messages. See, you're not good enough. See, people don't care. See, all these different things. And we're starting to get clarity and understanding. If you're in soul connections, you guys are probably pinging energy off of each other. There's definitely a lot more of that kind of opening up. I notice as the feminine is opening like her heart energy, she's kind of more grounded and stable in her energy. She's getting hit with a lot of the energies, but she's more grounded and stable with it. Whereas the masculine feels like they're going through this deep purging of trauma and emotions that they didn't really have awareness to and understanding. And the feminine already went through this. So she's like, okay, wait, I've already went through this. Like, I kind of know this isn't mine, or wait, this is coming in really heavy and I know that I don't feel this way. And so she's actually energetically helping like her masculine as he's going through this. So it doesn't really matter gender wise, it more so matters energy wise. So if you're predominantly the feminine or predominantly the masculine, you're probably feeling these. When it comes in, it kind of comes in really heavy and really abrupt, and it doesn't feel like yours. It feels almost like this fear scattery energy. For people who have gifts of energy transmutation, or gifts where they are helping to see people's inner child or heal people's inner child, one, you're probably triggering the fuck out of people a lot, so you can tell them thank you or you're welcome because you're helping them see things different and heal. But you're also possibly feeling other people, so you're probably more sensitive to other people. A lot of times when shit comes in for me, it feels like I'm feeling that way about the person that I'm feeling their energy for. So, you know, if it's like a specific friend, it comes in like I'm seeing that way about that friend, but it's really that friend seeing that way about me or another, you know, person, situation, whatever it is. Like, even earlier today, I was like talking to somebody, and then I was feeling their fears in my body as my own, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this so uncomfortable? And I can usually tell, well, we're in this very almost like void illusion energy right now. So even if you're normally able to differentiate it's not yours, it almost feels like it's kind of like melting together. As weird as that sounds, it almost feels like where your emotions or, you know, triggers end like mine starting, and it's almost like this like energy transmutation, but I'm more so getting from spirit like this integration energy, like you're integrating gifts, so you're understanding, you're kind of getting clarity, things like that, but you're not getting full clarity. You're still just getting pieces of the puzzle, and you're only getting small pieces. So some people are learning to like surrender, some people are learning to accept not knowing the future, you know, accept where they're at right now. Some people do know future stuff to help them get to where they need to be, to learn patience, to learn trust that what you're seeing is real. Like, you know, everybody's kind of learning things in their own way. It's bringing you to what you want. And if you're in the cycle, you can feel it. It's super close. Like whatever is coming for your soul like path, your soul mission, you know, soul relationship, whatever, like you can feel it. It's so close. And it's almost like the clearing of like the last like shit that's kind of stopping you. As that's coming up, you're probably getting tested on it naturally. It'll be something you work through, and then you'll be triggered because you'll see something on social media. Somebody will say something to you that's the opposite, or like, you know, whatever is going to happen, and you're having thoughts come in and you're kind of being tested, but like you already know the answer, you already have the tools, you already know that, so work through it. As you're having confusion energy come up, because there's so much confusion energy right now, sit with it. It's a lot of times very uncomfortable, a lot of times heavy, so ground, sit with it, you know, work through it and help yourself feel safe or whatever. Ask yourself, like, if it's yours, kind of go into it. You can usually tell the difference, but if you can't ask if it's yours, like, do I actually really feel this way or not? Don't ignore it if it's yours, like, go into it and just ask, what am I feeling? Like, why am I feeling that? So like oftentimes we'll be like, I'm upset because this person didn't do this or this person did this. Okay, but why is it upsetting me? Because, and go into that. Well, how did it make me feel? Okay, but why did that feeling upset me? Did this person actually really do something? Or is this maybe an unmet need of mine? Is this something I need to express? You see what I'm saying? Like, go into it in a different way where you're able to observe things clearly and not from trauma and not from conditioning. And that's where things are going to shift. As that happens, you will definitely have your ego coming up a lot more, talking like this and trying to trigger all of these things to keep you in the past and keep you safe. And it's not anything to hurt you, it's to keep you safe. So then the same insecurities you've worked through, the same fears you worked through are maybe going to be pretty loud. And it's not going to feel intuitive. Feel into your body. Is it going to feel intuitive? No. It's going to feel almost like heaviness, anxiety, fear. It's not going to come in as this calm inner knowing. Sometimes it feels like truth because we're so used to sitting in discomfort that we think is truth. That's not actually truth. So when it comes in your body, it might feel true. In your body, whatever, but it's not, okay, hold on, let me figure out how to explain this. So like in your body, it might feel like truth, but when you actually go into the energy, you'll realize it's not. So what I mean by that is like, you're so used to sitting in this discomfort. So say if you think you're not enough, right? This is a perfect example because I have been having this shit come up so much. So like when I feel like I'm not enough, when I have a trigger that comes up, and I go into it, a lot of times it's, see, I wasn't good enough. Why was this person better than me? Why was I not good enough for this person? Why didn't they see me? Why didn't they, whatever it is, okay? So oftentimes when the trigger comes up in my body, it feels very real. But when I go into it and I go, okay, what am I feeling and why? And I'm like, the not enough and all this shit. The energy of I'm not enough is coming up because I believe that from the past and I'm still working through that energy. So that's why I say if it feels heavy, it feels uncomfortable, it feels anxious, it feels fear. It's not. When it's truth, as long as you're in a calm energy when you're receiving truth, because if you're in an anxious energy and you're receiving truth, it might not totally feel like this, but for the most part, when you're feeling something true, it comes in as very clear, calm energy. And a lot of times, if you're really in tune, it just comes in as a knowing and you know it, but then your mind tries to understand it. Your mind's not going to understand it and your mind's going to kind of talk you out of what you know. So try your hardest not to just go into the logical thinking and analytical mind because it's not going to work like that. So there's a lot with that. Just try to go into it. Try to do whatever intuitively and naturally feels right for you. Just make sure you're like taking care of yourself though. Like don't ignore it. Don't, try to avoid it and stuff like that. It's just going to kind of make it worse. Try to go into it and realize that everything you're feeling, like you are safe, like you are okay. Like any thoughts you're feeling are okay and safe. Any feelings you're feeling are okay and safe. It doesn't mean it's happening. Every thought is not true. And like the fears, when they come in, they're so intense. They feel so real. They're so scary to us. And if you kind of go into the fear, you'll realize the fear you think it is not actually what it is. There's an underlying emotion or need there that you're worried is not going to happen. You're worried, whatever. They're bringing this up to me. The other thing too is, a lot of times we talk about self-sabotage and like running away. And I got this message from Spirit the other day, and even being selfish, like we're selfish with our needs, or we're this and this and this. And I got this message from Spirit the other day about self-preservation. Sometimes it's not about that. It's how I can manage this and keep myself safe. And a lot of times it's not necessarily we're sabotaging. We are, if we want to look at it that way, but we're not. We're self-preserving. We're trying to avoid something happening to us that is so painful for us we don't think we can handle it, or we're trying to avoid like us getting hurt in some way or discomfort in some way and shit like that. So it's like we can call it sabotaging, but it's actually us trying to keep ourselves safe. It's us trying to prevent ourselves from from bad experiences, from trauma, from all of these things. So I almost feel like we should kind of shift that perspective. And, you know, when we're like, well, we're being selfish, or this person's being selfish, are they being selfish, or are they trying to get an unmet need, like a need that they have that's been unmet in their childhood? They're trying to get that met now. Like, are they being selfish, or are they just trying to heal something that they're not really self-aware they're trying to heal? And I think sometimes we just need to shift our perspective on that to kind of understand ourselves a little bit better and be like a little bit more compassionate with ourselves. The other thing too that's coming up is accept yourself the way you are. Stop trying to think, I need to change this, I need to fix this. Accept yourself the way you are. It's okay to be, you know, the way you are. Things that we're told are problems, like our insecurities are problems. We don't feel good enough is a problem. We're jealous is a problem. All these things that we're told are problems. The only time they're problematic is when we act out on them and we behave on them. They're insights into what's wrong with us, to what we're feeling, what needs we're needing, what validation we're needing. So you're not going to be able to change them. I mean, if you go into it and you work with it, you'll heal it naturally. So it won't really exist as much, or it won't be as strong, like intense and strong, but go into it more and stop trying to look at this as a problem, I need to fix it, and start looking at it the same way you would look at like a light in your car coming on is, okay, there's an indicator something's wrong. You're not going to stop. The lights might annoy you because, you know, now I got to spend some money, but like they're there to show you something and teach you. If you turn the lights off, then how are you going to know when there's a problem? And it's the same thing with your like feelings and your things that you see as problematic. They're not. So, okay. We got a creative endeavor with kindred partnership. We got loss on the bottom, and I'm going to just, hold on. With this loss card, it definitely feels like this grief energy, and some of you guys are about to like let a person, a situation, a belief system or something go that has been holding you back for a long time. It feels like a really long cycle of just heavy energy. With this kindred partnership creative endeavor, hold on. Some of you are about to like connect with somebody, like soul connections. I'm getting a lot of reunion energy with this card. So somebody, like a soul connection you met, that whatever, you know, transpired, that you're not together romantically right now. Like I am just seeing so much of this energy, like this reconnection energy. It feels like when you come together, there's some type of, you're going to create something together, and it's part of your soul path. This would be a validation message rather than you're now learning this from me. So if this is for you, you would already have known this. You would have already gotten a message of you guys kind of coming together, or you want to be together in this creation. Like it almost feels like for the people this is for, it's just validation because you guys have been questioning it, and Spirit would have already shown you something you're going to do with this person, or somehow you're going to be working together as a team with this person. And I fucking love this, by the way. Okay, we got decrease, sacred temple, and discovery. So with this, I'm actually getting this. A lot of people are working through like not holding on to shit so tightly and learning how to surrender and let things go. And it's because you're coming into understanding your real truth and your real value and who you are as a soul. You're starting to connect to your soul more. Even if you don't have the logical awareness to it, you're starting to connect to your soul more. And you're starting to want to make choices that are healthy for you and good for you. Like where in the past you were kind of sitting in the trauma energy and you're like, I know I deserve better and want it. But now you're actually making the active choices to that. And with this discovery card, it feels like just, I'm getting the word treasure, but it feels like something externally is going to happen in a positive way that you're going to get like just this desire. I just keep getting this like heart's desire, like just something that you really want is going to be happening for you soon. For some of you, it definitely, I'm getting some October energy with that one, which I'm pretty sure we got October when I did like the reading before, like in September reading. We got like September, you're going to start working. I don't remember exactly, working through something. And then you're going to start seeing it more in the physical in October, but it feels like a lot of that is still like coming true. So, all right, let's see what else we got. That card flew out. We get like one or two, no, I think one or two more. I keep seeing them, but none of them are wanting to pop out. There we go. The Magician. Oh, he came out yesterday when I did the reading. I love it. So with the Seven of Michael card, it feels like a lot of you guys are kind of going down a path like unknown, like you're not really sure where you're going, like you're not able to kind of see it. It's like you're leaving the familiar behind and kind of going in a different route because you're realizing like you want more than you've kind of settled for. And it might kind of feel a little bit dark and lonely, but you're being guided. Like your spirit team might be popping up a little bit more, giving you a little bit more signs. Like I was actually outside a few minutes ago grounding because this energy is really fucking intense, and I'm actually excited that I can go outside for a little bit and not be like overwhelmed because the outside energy has been overwhelming for me. But and a fucking monarch flew, and it flew like I don't know where it came from. It flew right in front of me, flew up, and then went away. Like it made its presence known, like in my face where I can. And I mean, some of my family and stuff has been actually popping up too, but like they might show up to you in different ways. You'll kind of intuitively know it. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to tell you what they just said. So yeah, just trust that you are being spiritually guided, even when you don't feel like you are, because you definitely are. And I love this. Happy announcements regarding relationships or children, reason to celebrate, community of friends. Okay. So I first looked at the Ace of Ariel, and they had me just pull this card. So if you notice, they're both aces, which is new beginnings. And it's the masculine and feminine energy. And if you notice, they're both open. Their hearts are both open. It feels like this, like kind of like this leap of faith energy as you're kind of going into the unknown. You're naturally working together and you're opening yourself up to receiving, even when you're scared. If this is not current energy, it's definitely near future energy. We got Four of Raphael, Page of Ariel, the Magician. We're putting that to the side. Damn. So what it feels like, I kind of got like two different energies. It feels like while you're kind of focusing on yourself, your emotions, and you're like this, something's going to come in that you're not seeing. Like, and we keep getting this unexpected energy, like this unexpected surprise. It's not going to come in the way you think it is. It's going to kind of come out of nowhere. You're going to be focused, over here, and it's going to be happening over here. Almost like, you know how like the Magician, which we got the Magician card, they just want me to keep it separate. How like the Magician's like focus over here, but they're doing the trick over there. That's kind of what's going on like behind the scenes. Like you're focusing so much on this because you're going through so much and you're healing so much that this is what's really actually going on, but you're just not able to see it because your focus is here. But it's helping you learn and grow. And after this situation kind of presents itself to you, it's going to be something that is going to be a passion of yours, that something that's part of like your soul purpose that you're going to be working toward. Some of you might be having more creativity. You might be kind of getting into your element. Like I'm just getting from spirit, you're preparing, like you're releasing shit that's still blocking you, kind of sweeping some shit, kind of testing that. So you can see your own stability, because there might be some fears lingering like that you're going to fuck it up or sabotage it or things like that. So kind of what you're going into is as you're getting tested, you're seeing your own stability, or if it's not fully, 100% there, you're working toward that and you're going to keep getting triggered until you're really confident and 100% stable. So you'll have that confidence going into whatever that situation is. With the Magician card, you can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear successful beginning. So I did a reading yesterday, and this came out yesterday too. The same exact fucking card. And that's exactly what it is. It's like the dream life you want is going to just come out of nowhere. Like you're not going to be able to see it because what I just said with that card. And it's going to be something that's going to be like a fresh start. It feels like all of the heaviness of the past that you've kind of been like dragging around, and they're showing me almost like this shackle on your ankle and this like heavy weight, like you've been dragging all this trauma and fear and all this shit. Everything you've been going through is to release that shackle. So when you move forward, like it's not that you forgot about the past. You might be having issues with remembering past stuff, but then it will come through and then it kind of goes away again. It's not that you're forgetting it. It's almost you're neutralizing it, where your ego is not going to keep pulling this up every time something familiar happens to you. Like it's going to be more so from like present energy, where your like tools are and like your things are, where that past that's been dragging you down isn't going to be that way. Your perception is also going to be different. So like it almost feels like this too good to be true energy, like somehow it's all going to work out, even though everything has shown you kind of the opposite. Like it's all going to naturally work out, but it's going to be like you have this huge release of the past that that won't be affecting you anymore. It won't be continually triggering you, so you can actually be in the present and enjoying it and creating and rebuilding your life. And it is going to come out of nowhere, but it's also like at the same point, it's going to come out of nowhere, but you already have some awareness to it. Like it more so feels like you kind of know what's going to happen. You can already feel it. Like it's not like something just like a random ass thing. It's something you've been preparing for and working for, and you've been guided to, and you know it's coming. But it more so feels like you're not going to see it. It's just going to happen like one day where it seems like one way, and then like just out of the fucking blue, it's just going to happen where you're like, wait, huh? Because it just looked this way, one way, and it's almost just gonna almost there's gonna be no words where you're just gonna be like, huh? Like your soul's gonna probably cry, but your head's gonna be like just confused and being like, I'm not even trying to analyze this, like fuck this, because you're just gonna be so happy with what you have. So it actually feels really good. All right. No, I'm not pulling all those. That's a lot of fucking cards. These two? Okay. This feels like the masculine and feminine. Oof, I just got some chest energy and we got heart chakra. Okay. We got accelerated motion and heartache and loss. This feels like some lack of patience. It feels like I've been wanting this for so long. I've asked for it for so long, and like it hasn't happened. And it almost feels like this grieving energy and this letting go energy where you were holding on to this and hoping for this, but in the wrong way, in a way of like needing it because you needed it to heal your trauma, to get validation, to feel a certain way. And you're grieving all those ways is what it feels like where you can actually be in the energy of acceptance in a real, honest, vulnerable ass way than you were before, where it was a need in that type of thing, where now it's like a heart's desire. I'm sure that makes sense, like if it's for you. We got trapped in fear and patience. I just keep getting this masculine energy of like running out of time, like feeling like they fucked something up and they wasted all this time. It almost feels like this past energy where they're reflecting on choices where they pushed a person, situation, or maybe more than one thing away that they really actually wanted. They know they did, but like they felt like they were like unworthy and undeserving of it, and they know they did. And it almost feels like this fear, like if I don't like rush, almost like this very rushy energy, this very scared fear energy, like if I don't like move forward with it, then I'm gonna lose like the person, the situation, whatever it is. And it almost feels like spirit's forcing them to sit in their shit and not actually be able to move forward. They're learning how to trust and be patient, that if it's meant for them, they don't need to react out of fear. They need to learn to be patient and sit with their feelings. Like some of the feelings is, there's some like deeper feelings there of why they feel like they need to show up a certain way or do things a certain way. And spirit's forcing them to see their own like kind of magic within themselves and love themselves. And learning to be patient with the process, that if it's truly meant for them, you didn't fuck anything up. It was part of the path. And if it's truly meant for you, it's going to be waiting for you. It's not going to be, you're not going to miss an opportunity that's waiting for you. It almost feels like I did something fucked up and missed an opportunity. And the energy I get reminds me of almost like this teenage energy, like you wanted to apply to like be on like a soccer team or something, and you missed the deadline for the paperwork, and it was something you really, really wanted to do. And then you just are so hard on yourself, like I fucked up. And then maybe your parents were like, you know, you're so good at this and whatever, and you fucked up. Like, why didn't you turn the paper in? Like, why weren't you responsible? And it feels like a mirrored energy from the past that is like triggering this now. And it feels like this energy of like, but everything I want isn't going to come for me. Like, I'm going to lose it. Like, I'm not going to be able to have it. I'm going to lose it. And it almost feels like spirit's making them kind of sit in this energy. And it's non-gendered. So you could be a female and you're in the masculine going through this. It's non-gendered, but I'm channeling the masculine energy, the divine masculine energy with this. So like I said, it doesn't matter gender-wise, but it feels like almost like being forced to sit in the potential loss. Like you might actually lose this person or situation. and to help you see what you actually desire, and to help you stop getting out of fucking fear that you really actually want this, and like to stop telling yourself you don't. The crows just spoke, guys. Like they're like, rah, rah. So yeah. With the feminine, so with the feminine, it definitely feels like this learning energy. A lot are kind of staying to themselves. They're getting hit with a lot of people's energy, so they're really staying to themselves and just kind of keeping to themselves. They're seeing like how to take care of their own needs and not hold themselves so responsible for other people. Like even if somebody's like messaging you and you kind of feel guilty, you're like, oh, I don't want to make this person feel bad. You're like, but I need to take care of me and my energy first, and I need to just sit with it. Like if there's something on, I need to just sit with it. It does feel like this lingering like energy of like longing for a person or situation. And even if at your conscious level, you're kind of disconnected, because it feels like a lot of the feminines keep going in and out of disconnection energy. Even if you're disconnected, you can always still feel that heart's desire like pulling on you. It feels like the feminine is really actually like opening their heart and really coming from heart center. And I think I said that earlier in the reading, like when I said about yeah, I did, because you're like, yeah, you did. Like the feminine really feels like they're opening their heart up. Like they're really getting more comfortable with being vulnerable, with expressing themselves. They're seeing where maybe they were wanting something from the masculine and they weren't actually giving it to the masculine either. They were just having these expectations that they should prove to me and they should show me. And you're starting to see the feminine starting to see like, okay, I also need to give this too. It shouldn't just be on that other person. And it feels like they're kind of starting to see like where they were seeking things for validation. They're not, they're doing it from a place of self-love. They're doing it from a place of love for another person or whatever it is. And it just, yeah, it feels like this beautiful shift in energy. I know, you know, the energy itself might not feel great as we're kind of going through this. Right now, it actually feels good. Like right now, the energy as I'm doing the reading feels, it's not going to feel like this after I'm done. I'm sure they're probably just having me feel this energy. So when I'm talking to you guys, you can feel what I'm feeling to help you get the messages. But like, it has not been feeling like this. It has been feeling so chaotic, even to the point where I'm fucking confused what I'm feeling. And I'm like, I'm pretty, you know, aware of it. And I'm just like, it took me like 2 days to recognize I was feeling somebody else's energy. And I'm like, wait, I was like, but they kind of, you know, they guide you as they're supposed to guide you. I think what my personal situation, I think I was transmuting and feeling their energy and stuff like that. But also now I'm seeing how it's coming in different when it's other people's and stuff. And it took like 2 days, but for me to be like, wait, do I even feel like this? And I'm like, wait, no, I don't feel like this. And it almost feels like this sense of relief, but then it kept on coming in and I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be helping like transmute this and understanding and stuff. So right now the energy feels almost like this very, just very innocent child love energy, before like trauma. And, yeah, so it definitely keeps shifting, but it's been feeling really heavy, and I have a feeling it's going to be heavy later for some reason. Okay, we got last quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. Last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. This to me feels like more than anything going into your intuition, and even when you're afraid, doing the things that you love, even when you're scared to be seen, putting yourself out there, even when you're scared of failure, putting yourself out. Okay, they're just like, nope, you need to talk about this. I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and they said they have a fear of failure, and I said, what does that mean? What is failure? And you know, I've looked up the definition. It's kind of like not getting the intended result. And I said, okay, see, I don't understand that, because that's just not the way my brain processes. I don't really believe in failure, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I get it, but I also don't get it at the same point, because I just don't think like that. So to me, like when I look at how people perceive failure is not, you're not getting the intended result. To me, that's, I have tunnel vision and things should be this way. And if they're not this way, then I didn't do something right, or there's a problem. But everything happened the way it was supposed to, and you got the intended result always. You always got what you needed in the intended result. So for me, I don't believe in failure. Like, I've had businesses that were not, you know, lifelong or successful, but I never even looked at them as failures. I still don't. I never allowed it to stop me. It was something I loved. It was something that kept me sane. It was something that made me happy. It was something like I desired. And I learned shit from it. And as soon as, I'm like seeing stuff blow. As soon as, like that was up, like another idea came that was something, more exciting, something more aligned with me as I kept on shifting and changing, like something more aligned. And I started my first business when I was 18. I'm 36, so literally half my life. And talked about this before, like I used to sell like shit on eBay when I was like 14, and I just fell in love with business in general. But I've never looked at my businesses as failures, any of them that didn't work out long term. I always just kind of was like, that's okay. Like I just don't even, it's not intended, like whatever. But I always learned from it. I always grew from it. So an ending isn't a failure. An ending, I think maybe we need to stop holding on to results so much and start maybe going with the flow a little bit more. And then we're not going to really have that energy of failure. But also like when something really is meant to work, you're always going to have the shifts naturally with it, and you're always going to grow with it. And that's why it's going to stay. Like for me with my business now, like doing readings and the crystal store, that's not going away. I already know that. It's just going to expand into new things. And I've already kind of had visions and felt some of the energy and seen it. It's just going to expand to new things. So as I'm growing, it's going to expand into the podcast and where I'm able to reach more people. They've shown me talking on fucking stage in front of people and kind of giving messages to bigger audiences. So all of the things I'm doing are just expanding. And that's what it is. It's when it's a true soul thing, it never leaves. It just shifts. It alters. Same with romantic relationships, especially soul relationships. You're never apart. Energetically, you're never apart. Your soul's always connected to their soul. And they've shown it to me. It's like this, like twin souls. They're like, it's not in infinity, but it looks kind of that. Like it's like a circle and a circle, and they're just always together. Like you can't pull them apart. They're always together. You're never disconnected from them, even when you feel like you are. And you don't end up, if you're in a true soul relationship, there's no breakup. Like you guys don't, like you end up together and you work together and you create together and you're a team together, and it shifts and alters as you're growing, they're growing, and you're growing together as a team, and it just naturally happens. So anything that's truly meant for you long term will always be like that. Anything that's soul, like calling, desire, purpose, like for whoever is worried about it not lasting, it's gonna last. Like if it's something truly your soul is pulling you toward, a person, situation, whatever, it's always gonna last. It's just gonna change and adapt as you grow to expand. Whereas maybe you needed to be a little bit smaller and now you're bigger, it's expanding bigger. So it's never going away. It's just changing to be a better thing. So anyway, that's kind of what this is. We got a lot of last quarter moons. Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. Full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. So this actually feels like the feminine, talk less, feel more. This feels like stop like with the chatter as much and start going into like your feelings and like what you're feeling more and trusting that, because it feels like there's a lot of words coming up, trusting kind of more what you kind of know and you're feeling, and really like trying to ground your intuition. With the masculine, take inspired action, it definitely feels like they're preparing to take action for something. They already are planning it. They've already kind of been planning it for a while. It feels like it's a little bit halted because they're needing to work through some shit, but it almost feels like Spirit's going to give them the go ahead soon. Like something's just going to kind of shift for them. And Spirit's saying like, if you are the masculine and you are like, when you're doing this, like, don't worry about it. Like, don't like, I got so much like energy right now. Oh God, we're going through a shift and it is not a great feeling one. Oh, I love that like innocent child energy. Come back, please. Jeez. That's okay. For the masculine, damn it. Well, I've got like 30 minutes to go to energy, so I'll take it. I love when I'm doing like readings for people too sometimes, like where I feel angel energy. I'm like, hold on, I just need to feel this for a second. I'm like, oh, it feels so good. Like just really embracing when I'm getting the positive ass energy, because God, do I miss that. As I'm saying that, what I'm getting from Spirit too is some of us have a hard time receiving love, yours truly. And it's almost like preparation for that is like for you to feel in small amounts so it's not overwhelming. So when it comes in, you don't run from it like you used to, and to help you kind of prepare for it. Oh my God, I'm getting so dizzy again. Yeah, I'm finishing this up anyway. This shift is like awful. But anyway, with the take inspired action for the masculine, like you don't need to worry about stuff. Like it's okay to have fears. There's nothing wrong with it. Just don't let it stop you. It's more so what they're saying. Like when we give you the go ahead and you'll know, like there's no ifs, ands, or buts, like you're going to know it is the time. Like take action. Like it's okay to have fears. Oh my God, I'm so dizzy right now. It's okay to have fears. Don't let them stop you. It's just because you're doing something so different than you used to that your ego is trying to keep you safe. But once it happens, you're going to see it actually worked out probably way better than you imagine. All the shit you're worrying about isn't going to happen. It's all going to open up and be something beautiful that you've always wanted. So it really does, like, even though there's so much chaos and confusion and, you know, lack of clarity and all this heaviness, like at a soul level, you can already feel this shift, and it's going to bring so much beautiful things in. Just be patient with it. Like if I'm saying this and this message is for you and you're in this energy, you would already be feeling it. It's just extra validation of what you're feeling and stuff like that. If this message isn't for you right now, save it. It might be for you in the future, and then boom, it will pop up on your fucking YouTube or whatever, and you'll see and you're like, oh shit, she recorded that a year ago. I don't know, something makes me want to watch it, and then you're gonna watch the end and you're gonna be like, shit, she really did record this a year ago. Okay, it is for me. They do that all the time, by the way. So for whoever's gonna watch it in a year, it's still for you. But yeah, so anyway, just try to be patient with it. Try to just remember that it is all to help you. The fears coming up are not real. Like fears are not real, okay? Like you can feel something when it's truth, and you already know what you really want. Just, you gotta stop like lying to yourself, and you gotta start being honest with yourself. So I hope this helps, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day.